Hey
Hi
guys, welcome to another episode of Trojan Tea Time, where we bring you hidden gems, life hacks, and general resources and advice from our fellow USC students.
Make sure to follow us at USC Student Life on Instagram and TikTok to submit your questions there. Or I guess comments, not questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll try to feature them in our next episode.
Exactly.
So Allison, we are the USC Trojans, right?
That is correct.
That's kind of silly, huh?
That is silly. You know, whenever I tell people that I go to USC, it always prompts the conversation of, oh, like the condom?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, but no.
I've had friends be like, actually, please don't buy me like USC merch that says like Trojans on it because I'll be embarrassed.
But why? Why is it
I
embarrassing?
know. It's not embarrassing because honestly, sex is not a taboo subject. We should talk about it.
But I feel like a lot of students on not just USC, but all college campuses feel that sex is kind of a weird subject for some reason. But you know what? We're here to debunk all the myths.
Yeah.
You know, actually not all of them. We are not sex experts.
Experts.
But I think we have some experience.
Yeah, and we have some resources for you guys that USC provides as well.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. It's also cuddle season. So, you know, everyone is
getting cuffed.
It's cuffing season.
It's cuffing season.
Cuffing
right
season
now.
and cuddle season.
Yeah.
You know, it's getting a little bit colder. People are getting together. Spicy. So yeah, let's talk about sex, shall we?
Let's do that, Allison. First of all, USC this year hosted Sex Week from the 17th to the 23rd. So, what are some of the events that they had going on?
During the Sex Week, there was a sexploration event that highlighted the exploration of your sexuality and healthy relationships.
I think it was like a tent at McCarthy Quad where you can go in and learn about, there was a sex toy company that came, so you can learn about that. They have giveaways, and then also they had like a whole Q&A section about like sexuality and sexual health.
Okay. There was also Ask the Sexpert, which was like an Instagram live event hosted by sexpert Erin Tillman and other special guests, and they did like a Q&A answering students' questions about anything sex related. So that's pretty cool that USC kind of encourages the conversations to be had about sex and, you know, invites students to explore their pleasures, their preferences, safety.
You know, it's an important conversation.
Yeah. I feel like it's not really talked about, but everyone knows what a healthy and unhealthy relationship is, or at least I hope everyone does, or at least you know how it feels like to be in one. And I think that's really important to talk about.
I'm glad USC had Sex Week, but also they provide a bunch of other resources all year round for students. So, of course, we have student health, MySHR. You can go on there to book appointments. They have relationship and sexual violence prevention services as well. We won't go in depth, but there's a lot of information on the website. You can have confidential services or just like general advice. There's like a whole range of things that you can discuss with an expert. Professional,
for sure. Also in dorm rooms, I feel like almost every RA has a bucket of condoms outside of their door for students to take. And that's something I never took any in my dorm just because I didn't need them. But but I was super glad that they had that resource there. And you know, it kind of says like, hey, we're not going to pretend students don't have sex, because let's be real here, a lot of people do and a lot of people don't, but it's great that there's that option to make sure you're staying protected.
Exactly. And there's no excuse not to wear condoms then. And they have more brands than just Trojans, so we're all inclusive here. Not just Trojans. Exactly.
There's also a health and wellness vending machine in Kings Hall that is available to students 24 hours a day through a partnership between USC Student Health and the US Pharmacy. It dispenses Plan B, condoms, other contraceptives, Band-Aids, Advil, ibuprofen, and it's just there to, you know, invite students to take and to make sure that they're staying healthy. And I think that's super cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of resources on campus that I don't think are highlighted enough. So definitely seek those out, just besides the ones that we mentioned here.
Yeah.
We did ask our followers on Instagram at USC Student Life some tips on having healthy relationships.
Yeah. So can aliens please adopt me? I love that username. That's really funny. They said communicate. Just communicate.
That's
probably one of the most important things
one.
about maintaining a healthy relationship is communicating your feelings, your concerns, because honestly, it doesn't matter how long you know the person, they're not going to be able to read your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I've definitely experienced this where if you assume that someone is going to know something or do something, almost all the time does not even happen.
Yeah.
And you're kind of just left feeling like, like, I wonder why they didn't know that. But then it's like, well, did I even tell them that I wanted that? Or that I want them to do this thing? So.
Yeah. And when you start communicating your feelings, it opens it up for them to also feel safe in communicating their own.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, on that same vein, I'm not going to say this username because it's just so long, but this user says honesty, transparency, and communication. Again, transparency is a really big one.
Yes.
Just
be honest.
Yeah, just be honest.
Honesty is the best policy.
Express when you have bad feelings, good feelings,
yeah,
you know.
In my experience, even if the truth hurts or if the truth is not so great, it's better than them being left in the dark. And for me, I'd always want to know something than not know something.
Exactly.
This person said, constantly gaslight all the time.
Yep.
You know what? I think that's a joke. I hope it's a joke. I hope you don't do that to your relationships. But gaslighting is something that is not okay.
Don't do it.
Don't do that because it usually doesn't end up very well.
Yeah.
But on the contrary to that, instead of gaslighting, you can encourage, and you can encourage your partner to express their feelings and validate them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is a really good comment. Make agreements early in the relationship for more effective communication. I feel like all of these comments have been about communication, but yeah, like when you enter a relationship, it's like you're entering an agreement of sorts, you know?
Exactly.
Like you have to make things clear with this person. You have to like set boundaries, and like that's another thing that's really important, like boundaries and like consent and like that whole thing, and be like really clear about that, because even when you're in a relationship with someone, you have to set boundaries.
Yeah. It's not about like being strict or being like, oh, we got to play it by the book. Yeah. It's just about communicating how you feel, what you want, your needs, and then inviting your partner to do the same. So I think that's a great way to maintain those healthy relationships, especially in college when everyone's figuring themselves out. We're figuring out what we want, what we don't like, and all that good stuff. So yeah. But this was such a great conversation. And you know, Trojans who are watching this, make sure you are staying safe, please.
Make sure to complete, if you're in your 5th or 6th semester, make sure to complete your consent workshop on Trojan Learn. That's due in February. Has some really great tips. I did mine yesterday. It's coming up. Don't wait till the last minute. Yeah.
And if you ever need someone to talk to, or you just need some advice or some help, again, Student Health offers relationship and sexual violence prevention services that work to prevent and respond to gender and power-based harm. So we'll put all the information about that in the description below or on the screen here, so you guys know that those resources are available to you.
Thanks for listening, guys. Definitely follow our Instagram and TikTok. Pay attention to our Instagram stories, because every 2 weeks or so we put out a question so that your guys' answers can hopefully get into the next podcast episode.
Yeah, but I think that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
Bye.